I slept without my phone every day for 1 week, and this is why. For the last few months, I've had really bad sleep. Sometimes I don't sleep until 4 a.m. in the morning. And it's affecting my productivity. I find myself struggling to focus towards the end of the workday. It's ruining my mood and my own mental health because my hormones are all out of whack. And I'm pretty sure a large part of that is because of my phone. Like many of you, my extremely strong smartphone habits have crept into the bedroom. I often find myself watching YouTube videos till really early in the morning, staring into my bright light screen until I basically just pass out from exhaustion. And as crazy and as stupid as all of that sounds, I know 100% that at least some of you watching this video do exactly the same thing as me. But how is all this exposure to our phone screens late at night affecting our sleep? Well, according to research, it's not great. To explain, let's look at why we feel sleepy. You see, the way our brains have evolved is to work with sunlight. Specifically, when the optic nerve behind our eye detects sunlight, it sends a message to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which sounds a lot like
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
So from now on, I'm gonna call it Mary Poppins. So when Mary Poppins receives a signal from the optic nerve saying that it's detecting sunlight, it triggers a bunch of different hormones to be released like cortisol, which help us to wake up in the morning. But when you're in darkness, Mary Poppins does something different. Instead, Mary Poppins will tell something called the pineal gland to release a hormone called melatonin. And melatonin, well, that's the sleepy hormone. That's the one that we need to feel tired at night and the one that helps us get a good night's sleep. So what role does our phone play in this process, and how is it changing this pattern? Well, it turns out that the screens from our phones emit a very similar wavelength of light to that of sunlight. So similar in fact that the Mary Poppins in our brain often mistakes screen light for sunlight and starts to release those wakeful hormones like cortisol and starts suppressing those sleepy hormones like melatonin. And what makes things worse is what we're actually doing on our phones late at night. If we're watching a really exciting, riveting, scary and energizing video, well, that's going to release lots of those wakeful hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which is only going to further inhibit our ability to sleep correctly. So that's all the theory of why I wanted to stop using my phone before bed. So let's see what happened when I actually put it to the test. In order to build this new habit quickly, I needed to make the behavior as easy and consistent as possible, which in this case meant moving my charger from my bedroom to the living room and charging my phone there instead. And after making this environmental change, which only took me about 10 seconds to do, I started my week. After the first night of testing this out, I was feeling really optimistic. So today is day one and I feel great. I slept, it's probably the best sleep I've had in a long time. Just by not going on my phone before bed. It's crazy. I actually feel really good today. Had a bit of a scare, thought I overslept because I didn't have an alarm clock. My phone is my alarm clock, and so I woke up without an alarm clock. Turns out, it's fine. I just used my body's natural alarm clock and I woke up at 9:30, which is pretty early. This first night of great sleep had me feeling really hopeful for how the rest of the week was going to go, but by the second night I realized that it wasn't going to be all smooth sailing. Okay, so day two, sleeping without my phone. I slept horribly. I couldn't sleep for ages. I mean, when I did fall asleep, I slept really well, but I could not fall asleep for so long, even though I wasn't on my phone. So disappointing, very different results to last night. And well, unfortunately, things only got worse from there. After the third night, this is how I felt. Okay guys, it's day three and it's 1:30 in the morning and I can't get to sleep. I've charged my phone outside my room, but I just cannot get to sleep. And what I'm worried about is that because I'm going to sleep so late, I'm going to miss work in the morning. And so because I don't have any other alarm clock, I am going to have to use my phone and bring it into the bedroom and use it as my alarm clock for tomorrow. So I'm failing on day three, I'm sorry, but I have to do it. Now, by day four, I'd fixed my alarm clock problem and I had a separate alarm clock, but despite this, I was still feeling pretty down in the dumps because my sleep just didn't seem to be improving that much. Okay, day four, no phone in bed. I bought a new alarm clock, a separate one, so I didn't have to have my phone in the bedroom, and it didn't help. I still couldn't sleep till 3 a.m. So, not working so far. But that all seemed to change by day 5. So I did sleep a lot better last night, but I don't know whether that's because of the no phone thing or because I did a bit of cardio during the day, or maybe because, 2 nights ago I slept really badly and so I was just more tired this night, and so therefore I slept better for that reason. I don't know. Establishing causality is difficult. So by day 5, I was really struggling to find causality as to what was improving my sleep that night, but by day 6, I felt like I'd cracked it. So day 6, and I'm feeling really good. Like, I slept amazingly, had really deep sleep. I actually woke up an hour before my alarm clock was supposed to go off, just naturally, and I woke up and I felt really well rested. This is probably the most rested I've felt in a long time. And so what I'm learning is that it's not only not bringing my phone into the bedroom, but also I need to stop working at 11 p.m. I know some of you are watching like, what do you mean you're still working at 11 p.m.? But a lot of the time I am still working at 11 p.m. or, at least my brain is working at 11 p.m. thinking about ideas for the channel for you guys, or thinking about, projects that I'm working on at work with Ogilvy. And so by turning my brain off and just deliberately not thinking about problems at 11 p.m. really helps me to switch off and enter that sort of more restful mindset for I'm going to sleep now. And so, yeah, I feel great. So I got one more night, but I'm optimistic. And well, on the final night of using no phone, it was a bit of a mixed bag. So final day of me sleeping without my phone, and I feel okay. Like, I think I slept well, but I'm still waking up feeling pretty darn tired. So I don't think my road to fixing my sleep is over yet, but I do think that this is a step in the right direction. So where should I go from here? Am I going to continue sleeping without my phone? I think the answer simply is yes. While it didn't fix all of my sleep problems, it certainly didn't make them any worse. And on the nights where I did sleep well, I slept really, really well. And if I can just get a few of those every week, well, I'm going to be extremely grateful. But as I said, my journey to fixing my sleep isn't over yet. So if you want to see my future experiments in trying to fix my sleep, well, you guys know what to do. Smash that subscribe button down below, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye. So when Mary Poppins released... I can't speak. In order to make this new habit... which simply means moving my simply means... Does that make sense? I should be saying night, because it's night rather than day. Alright, let's wait, do the whole thing again. Okay. Start again.